went to Tambakis.
No way.
Tambakis with
Saturday night in Cary, North Carolina, as we welcome you to the beautiful WakeMed Soccer Park Salem Stadium, home to North Carolina FC, 15-10-8. They're already in the USL Championship playoffs. St. Louis FC needs a win and a different result for Birmingham to, in fact, make the playoffs. As we look at the current standings, North Carolina FC at 7th. St. Louis can still make it, but they got to win tonight. North Carolina FC, they are guaranteed a home playoff game. I want to see all of you out here on Wednesday, October 23rd, 7 o'clock for USL Championship playoff action. Right now, though, we focus on this one, and we welcome you upstairs. I'm Dean Linke, along with Andrew Tate, an NCFC youth coach. And first off, tonight, we celebrate the greatness of Austin Deleuze.
Yeah, I mean, the man just epitomizes professionalism. You know, he's a fantastic man on and off the field, and we're hearing the comments from all his ex-teammates, current teammates, about what a great player he is.
8 years with this club, Carolina Railhawks, and then the name change to NCFC. He won a national championship on this field way back in 2007 when they beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. He is still Wake Forest all-time assist leader. I think it's a record that will never be broken in today's era. Austin Deleuze, we bow down to you. His entire family is here. His dad, his brothers, his mom, his aunt, his grandma and grandpa, all here to celebrate the greatness of Austin Deleuze. Meanwhile, when we switch gears and focus on St. Louis FC, Lewis Hilton in the middle, he's the MVP of the team.
Yeah, he's a fantastic technical player, a lot of quality. Watch for him on set pieces today. They scored a lot of headed goals, and every time he'll go out and deliver a set piece, you'll see a real ball of exceptional quality coming in.
Incredible endurance. He'll go the entire time. His coach speaks very highly of number 8. Head on a swivel for the North Carolina FC defense. Head on a swivel to find the Deleuze family. There's Tony Deleuze, longtime coach of the Wake Forest women's soccer program. Grandma and grandpa all the way from San Diego. We celebrate Austin Deleuze, and we give you some action here. North Carolina FC, St. Louis FC, the lineup and the kickoff when we return.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
A month from now, you'll be a little older. A year from now, you'll be a little wiser. Will you be stronger? Your best is not behind you. Look forward.
Back on the road. Back in the saddle. Back to the land. Back in the game. back in the swing of things. Back in the groove. WakeMed Orthopedics, the exceptional care you need to get back your life.
Welcome back to WakeMed Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina, as we get you set for St. Louis FC and North Carolina FC. Austin Deleuze wearing the captain's armband as we celebrate his amazing career, really on and off the field. Dean Lincoln with Andrew Tate. Let's take a look at the starting lineup first for the home team, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, and there's a few changes in there for North Carolina, mainly coming in the attacking areas. Obviously, the main man, Austin Deleuze, it's slotted in centre midfield. Great to see him on the field. Dre Fortune returns from international duty. Mario Lomas, comeback man of the year, starting up top, which is great. I know he's going to get some minutes tonight. Probably won't last the whole game, but great to see him. And then Manny Perez back from under 23 duty as well.
That's the starting lineup for Dave Sarakin's North Carolina FC, and we'll take a look at the starting lineup for St. Louis FC. Plain and simple, they need 3, and then they need Birmingham to not win.
Yeah, exactly, and there's 3 changes for them. The goalkeeper, Gomez, comes back in. Boehner as a right back, and then Umar in midfield. But the main man for them, Lewis Hilton in the middle of the field. Look for him to really try and pull the strings and create lots of opportunities for this desperate St. Louis side going into the last game of the season here.
There you see the top man for St. Louis FC. He spent a ton of time playing over in the England Champions League. He was with Portsmouth, he was with Stoke, he was with Southampton, and then bounced around League One and League Two, and then came over to Orlando when they were still in USL before they got propped up to MLS. Ironically, Anthony Pulis, his last game as a player, Austin Deleuze was on the field. So for him, he considered it an honor to even be the opposing coach, knowing what a great human being, what a great citizen, at the end of the day, a pretty fantastic soccer player Austin Deleuze is.
Yeah, it's kind of nice coincidence, that, isn't it? And I think Austin was quite complimentary, and I spoke to him about Anthony Pulis and just kind of what he was like as a professional as well. So I think he maybe set the example for me, Austin, sort of following. So real nice sort of compliments there.
See Austin Deleuze wearing the captain's armband. At halftime, they'll play a video of some of the top great moments. The Pendo sideline report saw one of his great goals, of many great goals. He scored with his head, he scored with his left, and as he's shown us, he's got the ability to also score with that right foot. North Carolina FC, Andrew, in all blue, their home kits. St. Louis FC in their white kits. Same back four, Aaron Guillen, Brotherton, Alex Camcia, and this man here, DJ Taylor, across the back. The big key, as you already talked about, Marius Lomas, who broke his foot well over 3 months ago, had the surgery, came back about a month ago, started training. He's getting the start, so Dave Sarakin knows what to expect out of him when the playoffs start on Wednesday, right here on October 23rd. He thinks maybe he'll go 45, potentially 10 minutes of the second half as he gets the touch here. But Dave Sarakin needs to know what he can get out of him. The tough thing is, for Dave Sarakin, Donovan Iwolo's been so great. However, I guess by luck and fate, Iwolo's a little banged up, so he figured now or never, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's kind of a free hit, as I think they say. You know, Mario Lomas is getting the opportunity. They've got the chance to do that. And obviously, it maybe gives them some more options going into Wednesday night. So I think, just like Austin, even though it's Austin's last game, I know both players will be wanting to really make a statement today that they can be relied on Wednesday night.
For Lomas, it's just his 11th start of the season, but he was red hot. In fact, he was one of the hottest players in USL Championship play before he broke his foot, and he left with 6 goals early to start the season. So to get him back, it's like picking up a bona fide superstar free agent right late in the season.
Yeah, I think he went back on holiday. Well, not on holiday, went back home and got maybe some rays of sunshine that we're not having right now at the moment. But certainly has come back strong, obviously showing a real hunger to get back on the field here for North Carolina FC.
Cleared out, sent in to the stands there by Kavita. Deflected, and it'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC. And coming over to take it is Graham Smith. That's DJ Taylor earning the corner just 3 minutes into this one.
And everyone back here for St. Louis. They had all of they had a bad run of form now, only 1 win in the last 6. But before that, they were on a run of 5 wins.
Corner kick driven in, still loose. Finally cleared out of there.
Yeah, just saying, Dean, those 5 wins, a lot of those came as a result of shutouts. So that's sort of their MO, is they're built from defensive stability. They don't score a lot of goals, but they don't concede a lot. So it's going to be a finely poised game tonight.
Tomas Gomez, the man wearing the green goalkeeper jersey for St. Louis FC. Alex Tambakis, who got the USL Championship Save of the Week for his brilliant save against Ottawa, and needs to be under consideration, quite frankly, for USL Championship Goalkeeper of the Year. He has been that fantastic, voted MVP by his teammates, and you just don't see that very often where a goalkeeper wins the MVP award, Andrew.
Yeah, especially when you're up towards the upper end of the division, you know what I mean? You're not hanging out at the bottom. Usually that's where the goalkeepers are getting all the credit, because they're getting peppered.
Right.
He's just come up big in big situations, which was maybe a big reason of why they're in the playoffs. It could have been the difference there, you know, some of those big saves, the saves of the week that he's got in his locker at 6'2", you know.
Graham Smith did well to win it, but then was rushed. His pass to Stephen Miller will go off of Miller. Quick restart here via throw-in for St. Louis FC. A moment ago, you saw the touch there of Lewis Hilton. They will look to find number 8, who's on the ball now quite often, and he can ping it. We were watching before the game. Andrew Tate said, watch him ping it. Look at that. On a dime, set across, squared, loose, and cleared out of there by Alex Kamsia. Once again, you see the crank there coming from Hilton. Good start here for the visitors. They've got to pour everything on this if they want to have any chance of making the playoffs. They've got to get 3, and they need Birmingham to either tie or lose, and St. Louis FC will sneak in there. It's a little added heat for North Carolina FC, knowing that St. Louis has got to bring everything. Meanwhile, no matter what, Dave Sarakin knows whether it's the 7th seed or the 8th seed, they got a home playoff game. So you got to manage multiple things in this one. You want to have momentum coming in, but you certainly don't want to have a star get taken out and not be available on Wednesday, Andrew.
Yeah, we saw that last night. Phoenix Rising, they've dominated the Western Conference, and yet Adam John and Solo Asante are in the starting lineup and playing up the majority of the game. So it's a real sort of delicate one to manage as a coach. You don't want to start making wholesale changes and losing that rhythm. But obviously, in speaking to the coaching staff, they were disappointed that they suffered a defeat last week on the road and want to get back to winning ways today. So I'm sure that's the game plan, nothing else.
Whistle caught against Brotherton. He didn't think he did much. He'll come back to St. Louis FC. Dave Sarakin patrolling the sidelines. It's perfect weather. It is jacket weather, as Dave Sarakin wearing the jacket, cooling down. But as a soccer player, you cannot ask for anything better than these conditions right here. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Dean, this is the moment. I think you're going to see real emphasis on this for St. Louis. Saw a little chat between Lewis Hilton there and Anthony Pulis about what he wanted from this set piece. So I'm sure they've been working on this all week.
Kadeem Dakers also taking a look at it, but we're pretty sure it'll be Hilton, and it is. Hilton, great weight on that ball. And it looked like North Carolina FC just making sure Miller will knock it out of bounds. And it'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, St. Louis FC.
And I know this has been a little bit of an Achilles heel for North Carolina FC this year. Set pieces, not their strong point defensively. They've given up a few soft goals during the season. And I think they're not going to get any quiet moments on these set pieces. Lewis Hilton's going to ask a lot of questions.
8th minute. This is a planned play. Hilton will get it back, and that does nothing. You saw Russell Cicerone, the man from Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, make the run out, but then when Hilton brought it back in, Andrew, it wasn't dangerous at all.
Yeah, and I know the game I watched with him playing against Loudoun, that 4-3, absolute banger of a game. He didn't waste a set piece the entire game. So I'm a bit surprised by that one. We'll see if we get any more of those.
Tate already told you 4 losses and a tie coming into this one. You think about what that means. They just get any kind of glimpse of results in some of those losses. They don't even have to worry about maybe even this game, let alone Birmingham.
Yeah, this is the playoff game for them. The playoff started today. Probably started 5 weeks ago, really, but it really has started today. They've got to put the pressure on, extend their season till tomorrow. That's really the question. Can they do that?
We say tomorrow because that's when Birmingham plays, and that's when we'll learn the final fate of who the top 10 teams are. They expanded from 8 to 10 this year. You see the top man for St. Louis FC, Anthony Pulis. He's quite enjoyed his time over here in the States, coming over from England back in 2012 and married a woman that he brought over from England, and they had 2 kids both here in the States, and they plan to stay a long time. They really enjoy it.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you, Dean? Look at me.
Yeah, well said.
Similar story.
When did you come over?
2003.
Okay.
Don't ask that question. He makes me feel really, really old. But with good reason.
All right, 10 minutes in. Still no score. Austin Deleuze. His night. We have, as Andrew told you, a lot of the players on the current team, even former team like Capono Low, just talking about what a fantastic professional he is. And it seems like as easy it is to talk about the fact that he's played 8 years here, scored a ton of goals, had a ton of assists, won a ton of games, and Wake Forest all-time assist leader, is the fact that every year he is named the community leader and winning the leadership award. Every year he does more appearances outside of game day than any player on the team. I mean, you talk about leading by example. Here comes St. Louis FC. They drop it off into the 18. Couple little touches, back across. And now Brotherton try to spring the talented Manny Perez. Manny Perez played for George Kiefer at NC State, part of the NCFC youth system that continues to produce all kinds of star players. I had Daniel Wu in the Georgetown, Maryland game on Monday. He started on the road at Maryland in front of a big crowd where, trust me, the crew, they let freshmen know all about their families and everything else, and that young man handled it no problem.
Yeah, it's a testament to the academy and the coaches. John Bradford obviously has been immersed in that for many a year now, and those boys have played in many high-profile games in the academy, and I think they do a good job in getting them ready for that next level. But until you taste it, you never really know, do you?
The great tie-in as well, bigger than Daniel Wu to this game, is Joe Deleuze from San Diego, the first cousin of Austin Deleuze. While he didn't get in, he's just a redshirt freshman. He has played 7 or 8 games this year for Georgetown, so there's going to be more Deleuze's making some noise out there.
Well, strange enough, Austin told me he was born on a soccer field. I don't know quite how that worked out, but he was born on a soccer field. Around every game, his dad coaches and everything, so a true soccer family, a true American soccer family.
Lomas goes high. Good sportsmanship there as defender will help him up. There to give him the lift was Sean Reynolds. As we're 12 minutes in, we can tell you that Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship in many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. 12 minutes in, alongside Andrew Tate, Dean Linke, no score. North Carolina FC, St. Louis FC, as we've got a North Carolina FC player down.
It's Aaron Gee in the left back. He just got caught there after the ball. Yeah, Graham Smith challenging there, catches the St. Louis player, who then, over the top of the ball, studs on the inside of the shin there. That's a naughty one. Don't think there's any malice there, but certainly no consolation to Aaron Guillen as he hobbles back into position to defend yet another set piece. We're going to see this all day, I think, Dean.
And pretty much behind every set piece will be Lewis Hilton. He just hits a great ball, puts a nice weight on it. He can float it in, he can drive it in, he can keep it on the carpet. This one hit hard. Nobody home, though. North Carolina FC can transition. Manny Perez, if there's one guy that can get things going all by himself through multiple jerseys, it's Manny Perez, and he just did it there.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. I remember the last time out here, Dean, it was really quiet for North Carolina FC, and then one ball over the top, Manny Perez, boom, penalty, and the 1-0 up.
So here's Manny Perez again. DJ Taylor. Taylor. Ian. DeLuz. DeLuz over to Fortune, takes a shot. Austin DeLuz has been in pretty good form. He was rolling along to start the season, then suffered a foot injury that he just couldn't shake. It was bad. All kinds of pain. Tried to come back too early. And then really it's just been hard for Austin DeLuz to get back in the team. He's been a pro about it, but you know what? Even though it's his last year, he wants to be out there. The guy wants to compete.
Yeah, he's definitely not happy that he's not playing, Dean. He'll be the professional. He'll keep doing the right things.
Driven in by Smith. Brotherton has scored quite a bit with his head. It's still loose. Player is down. Back up is Guillen, who's been down a couple times. Smith back across again. Punched out. Fortune. Taylor. DeLuz sitting deeper. He's too far away for a shot as Miller comes over. I'm going to just go ahead and say I need to be fully transparent. I am hoping for an Austin DeLuz goal, just plain and simple. That's what I'd like to see, an Austin DeLuz goal. So if there's a little extra layer of excitement, if Austin DeLuz scores, you've been forewarned.
I'll cover my ears, say earmuffs. I don't think the St. Louis fans don't want to hear that, Dean, you know?
Well, I have great respect for St. Louis fans. In fact, I think they're some of the best fans for all sports in the country. I hope that and they'll understand that when you're as good a person as Austin DeLuz, if they had an Austin DeLuz, and they probably do, I'd feel the same way. Does that cover me?
Yeah, I think if we cut a deal, they can win 2-1 and Austin scores. They'll be happy.
There
with
you
that,
go.
There you
All
go.
right.
Negotiation.
Yeah, I didn't say they had to win.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
No, thank you. Austin DeLuz goal. Here's a throw-in for Fortune. Guillen. We talked a little bit about it in our last game together, Andrew Tate, but this guy here does not get enough credit for being an outstanding player. He wears the captain's armband quite a bit here, and Guillen can play left center back or left back.
Yeah, and I think you talked about DJ Taylor last week. You talked about this back four. They're getting that consistency now, and Guillen definitely is a leader back there, and it's a young group of boys that I think are all sort of starting to gel together.
What a ball from DeLuz, trying to find Perez. DeLuz hit that with the outside of his foot. DeLuz started it. Let's roll it back, Ian Lang, to DeLuz as it finds Manny Perez. The touch from DeLuz with the side of his foot, brilliant into space.
Yeah, that left foot, he will use every part of that left cleat to create an opening. And this is the problem for St. Louis. They do not want to see Manny Perez get behind. But look at that vision, the execution, and as a defender, that's not the position you want to be in.
Great job by our crew here, showing that brilliant pass from DeLuz. 17 minutes in, yet another corner for North Carolina FC. Guillen was making a good run. Coach Pulis thought somebody got knocked down. He was screaming, perhaps rightfully so. This one sent back across. In fact, to be fair, Coach Pulis does not seem like the kind of guy that will scream for no reason. He saw something he didn't like.
Yeah, and I think, and it's desperation time, Dean. So those calls early in the season, you're not maybe as riled up about because you know you've got a little bit more chance. But
DeLuz pops this one again to Taylor. DeLuz looks to be in form here on his night. That's two great passes off the head of Kamsia.
Yeah, so it's one of those. Any mistake today or any bad decision could be crucial today.
Well said, Andrew. Back to Manny Perez. Perez back across, trying to find Mario Salomas. Fortune pushed to the ground, and he will earn the whistle. Tune in to ESPN 3 Saturday for another special home game as the road to the 2019 USL Championship, as you see this fall right here, begins next week with the play-in games Wednesday, October 23rd, followed by a full slate of conference quarterfinals beginning Saturday, October 26th. For specific match dates and times, visit USLchampionship.com and tune in for every minute of playoff action on ESPN+.
We've got 2 injuries right now. DJ Taylor's trying to shake something off. And then treatment being administered to one of the defenders, I think, for St. Louis here.
This place will be rocking tomorrow, 1:30. It's the semifinals of the NWSL playoffs. Reign FC, Megan Rapinoe, I heard she's pretty good. The North Carolina Courage, back-to-back NWSL Shield winners. They won the triple last year, including the NWSL Championship. There's got to be 10,000 folks out here to watch that game, as you see Coach Pulis looking on. Pretty exciting for men's and women's soccer right now with both teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I know the community and the club are trying everything they can to make it affordable and make it easy for fans to come out here and support and really get behind the team. And Wednesday night's not always easy, getting the kids around the town, but I'm really hoping that the fans will get behind the team and push them on to the next round. Wednesday night the men, Sunday, tomorrow, 1:30 the women. Looking for a date in the October 27th NWSL Championship game also played here. Here's Guillen trying to send it in. Deleuze, the high riser. Deleuze often says, I'm not the most athletic, and then every time I see him jump 3 feet in the air, I disagree with him. He's got a good spring for a wee man, that's for sure. Scored a few headers in his time.
Perez. DJ Taylor. Start to think about the fact that Nasby Abadawi, Ben Spees getting some well-deserved rest. They're almost automatic starters for Dave Sarakin. You've got the flash of Yamakani Chester. There's going to be somebody come Wednesday night's playoff night, somebody big that will start the game on the bench, and the key will be to just keep your head in it right and be ready when you're called on.
Yeah, I think this is one of the few times this season they've had everybody back fit and healthy, you know, so real good problem to have as a coaching staff.
Smith not on target there, looking for Guillen, who had made that overlapping run. A lot of eyes on number 9, Lomas. What can he bring up top? And particularly, the players have really responded to the work rate of Iwolo, so Lomas has to know that. Crystal's got to know that. The players definitely have recognized the work Iwolo's put in, so they want to see more from who's ever playing center forward.
Yeah, it's anybody's game right now, isn't it? I think Iwolo maybe has the shirt just based on some of the goals he'd scored recently. But definitely Christo and Lomas have lots of different options and qualities to provide. I love that touch a moment ago from Austin Deleuze. Real clever, just kind of let it roll off the back of his heel into our teammate.
DJ Taylor. Taylor back across, trying to find Lomas, just a little too high for him. There's Guillen. What a play by Guillen, and I think he'll earn a throw-in. Now, it comes off of him, but to me, those are the detail plays, why I love the game and why I know a player like Guillen makes a difference.
Yeah, he's giving you the maximum there. He's not going, oh, you know what, I'll save myself for Wednesday. He's looking to make the most of this lost cause and gets a little bit unlucky there for the deflection coming back off Stephen Miller.
21 minutes in. Andrew Tate had mentioned it earlier. We say hello and salute the great fans of St. Louis FC. Certainly exciting times for St. Louis soccer, as they're going to have an MLS team, and they are run by all women, which is incredible as well. That's just fantastic in today's world to see something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Not something we see often enough, I think, Dean, right?
Yeah. What I mean, Ron, the ownership group is all female based. Here's Brotherton over to Deleuze. Now he'll find Smith. It didn't take long after recovering from injury for Smith to become one of the favorites for Dave Sarakin. He was one of the favorites for Colin Clark, the previous coach. And before that, one of the favorites of George Kiefer, down at USF, and now the top man at NC State, looking to go back to back with NCAA tournament appearances.
And I've got to say, you know, I like what NCFC's trying to do there. Get on the ball, start playing through Smith and Deleuze. Not seen that enough in the opening 20 minutes here. It's been a very cagey sort of affair. But if we want to get the NCFC at their best, that's certainly what they've got to try and get back to.
St. Louis trying to go left side right now. Calling for it there was Caleb Calvert, number 18. He will roll off. Ready for it was Alex Kamsia, and Alex Kamsia will earn a throw-in. Alex Kamsia, no Andrew Tate, but he did a decent job in the broadcast booth for the North Carolina-West Virginia matchup.
Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. I feel you have to say that right now, but I will certainly take it to the bank.
23 minutes in, halfway through. Not a whole lot of action so far, but let's get your thoughts first on the team in blue, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, they're starting to warm into the game a little bit, kind of how they started the last home game out here against New York Red Bulls. Slow start, but not a lot of goalmouth action. Then it just that one moment of quality can change, and they certainly have that in their locker here. So here you go, Deleuze just starting to build things, and he's a player that I think they've got to get on the ball and expressing himself.
Miller, and your thoughts on the visitors from St. Louis, Andrew Tate.
They just want to win 1-0. That's what they've come to do. They're going to wait they're going to set up those set pieces, and really if they can get the game down in the last 10 minutes and get that goal, I don't think they care. They just want to be solid, don't give up chances.
Austin Deleuze to Lomas, that was with his right foot. Deleuze continues to blow up that myth that he can't use his right foot.
You're getting closer, Dean, aren't you? You're getting closer. He's like a tea kettle boiling.
Deleuze all over the place, looking lively. Fortune, a little bit of trouble, able to spin off of it and earn a throw in. Dre Fortune, different level status right now.
Yeah, here you go. This is it. I've defended him a few times in pickup games, and he's just never easy to defend. Great ball in. You just expect that ball to land on Lomas's head, and just a fraction off there. A left foot, right
service.
foot. Yeah, left foot, right foot. That's the problem with him. You think he's all left foot because it's that good, and then he shuffles it to the right foot and delivers quality as well. And you're like, why don't you use it more often?
Actually, I think it because I've said it forever, and then there was one game where his dad, Tony Deleuze, who we saw in the Open, one of the best coaches out there, right? What a job he's done for the Wake Forest women. He sent me a very pronounced text. Go back and check how many goals my son has scored with his right foot. And sure enough, he scored a goal with his right foot.
Yeah.
That was a great serve with his right.
And I think I mentioned to him recently, sort of just thinking about him as a player and what he's done. He reminds me a lot of like Ryan Giggs towards the back end of his career. And I don't want it to be an insult. I told him, Austin, I don't want it to be an insult like Ryan Giggs towards the end of his career. But just how he sort of finished in that central midfield role, and that cleverness and that guile and the quality of delivery with that left foot and every part of that left boot, you know.
Yeah, he's been ready for anything. He's even played the 6 as the solo pivot over the years and done a pretty good job. I think if you ask him, all things told, he would love to be a left winger, but things change, right, as you start to play the game a little longer and you got new talent around you.
I think he's always said, I don't have that pace, you know. But not many of us do, unfortunately, Yamakani Chester.
May see him tonight.
For St. Louis, they've just got to get Lewis Hilton on the ball more. I think NCFC doing a really good job of just getting bodies around him. Apart from that ping we saw early on out to the right flank, very, very quiet.
Fanwell Kavita directing traffic as they give it to Sean Reynolds, wearing 15. Over on the right side is Matt Boehner. Boehner from Westchester, Ohio.
Short on confidence, I think, is sort of what we see right now from St. Louis. Dean not scored a lot recently, obviously 5 games without a win, so it's tough to get things going. They just need a break, I think, here.
St. Louis without the services of Guy Abend. He got a red card the last game. The midfielder / defender from Israel. Going the other way, Brotherton with the shield. He'll go ahead and keep it on the ground to Tambakis. He's got to be quick. Tambakis a little bit too nonchalant right there. And it's won back by St. Louis FC as he hesitated, but still won back. Now Deleuze trying to play it to Manny Perez. Perez now in a foot race. Perez is a handful, folks. Perez can go right at goal. Perez, and great defense coming back there by Fanwell Kavita, wearing number 3, knows all about the Perez pace, and he cut him off.
Yeah, that's that older head there, right there. It was pace versus power. Power won that battle, because if he'd have got the wrong side of him there, we would have seen a repeat of the Red Bulls penalty decision, I think. But great defending from Kavita.
Kavita from Congo. Dropped over there. Indiana had a player last night in the Indiana-Maryland game, Herbert Endley, whose dad is with the United Nations, based over in Congo. So I wonder if he's ever had a chance to hang out with Fanwell Kavita.
It is a small world, Dean. You never know.
Yeah. Deleuze. lose one of the brightest soccer minds, which doesn't surprise you when you think about the fact that his dad, one of the more accomplished college coaches in the women's game. He knows what he's got in Manny Perez, and he knows he doesn't need to be too fancy. He's just got to get it into space and let Perez run it down.
Yeah, he's a real thorn in any defender's side, I think. That ball gets played in behind, you have to turn and sprint back. You're like, oh, you put your eyes closed before you set off running, I think.
Bacchus.
Space out here on the right for DJ Taylor as St. Louis try to get back into their shape.
29th minute. DJ Taylor, Lomas! And parried away by Gomez. I think Gomez got a touch on it. Lomas almost scoring right there. What a story. He has been out for 3 months.
Yeah, DJ Taylor, great space down the right, attacks it well, delivers a great ball into that second 6-yard area. Lomas, I think it may have been missing the goal, but keeper had to be sure, and I think there were suspicions of offside, and that's what the keeper was sort of upset about there. But great shape on the pass from DJ Taylor, and Lomas wishes he could have that one back, but tough one to keep down.
Sent in and handled there. We mentioned earlier Graham Smith, who played for George Kiefer at USF, Manny Perez playing for George Kiefer at NC State. I finally get an up-close look on Tuesday night as they play Elon. NC State tying Duke. NC State, I believe with just another point or a win, will have their most ACC wins in almost 20-some years if they can get it done. That's Elon. But I'll also be on that call against Clemson as well. NC State, when you mix in North Carolina and Duke, to have 3 powers that can make runs in the NCAA tournament locally is awesome. Lomas lurking again as that's cleared out of here. But you, even as a youth coach, gotta love it. You got the pro team here, but then you got all these great college programs, including the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and then you got all these amazing games on TV, Dean. How do you choose? You're spoiled for choice. That's the world we live in right now. I don't even know what to do half the time. But yeah, lots of options. Dave Sarachan probably a lot happier now with his team. You know, in the last 20 minutes or so, they started kind of slowly, but really warming into it now and asking questions with set pieces and some of these crosses into the box.
DJ Taylor back to Smith. Smith smokes it in there again, and that one sent into the stands. Yet another corner kick for North Carolina FC and Graham Smith.
Anthony Pulis looking like he's wearing the weight of the world on his shoulders at the moment, just scratching his head like, come on, you know. It's really tough right now.
Driven in again over the head of Lomas. Brotherton. Brotherton's chance goes over, but Sam Brotherton has been a force, not just defensively, but he's got some good numbers coming forward. 3 goals from that center back spot off set pieces. That'll work.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's not 6'2", it's not a bad height, he's an inch taller than me, but does well and seems to attack the ball and get himself free on some of those deliveries into the box.
Miller. Drop it over to DJ Taylor. Folks at home, if you're wondering, we're giving Andrew Tate 6 feet max.
Just trying to make you feel better, Dean.
Yeah, you got me by 2 or 3 there. 32nd minute. Manny Perez, what a spark plug. So good at right midfield. Sometimes George Kiefer would drop him back to right back. Dave Sarachan has looked at that as well. You wonder what Celtic has in mind at the end of the day for him.
Yeah, a talented boy. I think he played a number of positions. I think even when he was in the academy at NCFC Youth, played a number of positions. I always heard his name every week. It was Perez this and Perez that. And you see him and it makes a lot of sense. He even scored in midweek, I think, didn't he, against El Salvador.
Lewis Hilton ready for it. 32nd minute. Dropped over here to Kadeem Dakers. Handled there by Guillen as they were looking to get it to Boehner. Dre Fortune. Taylor. When you first saw Fortune as a youngster, did you know he had this next level quality?
I'm never going to say yes to that, Dean. I'd get myself in trouble, I think, for that one. But you see a lot of boys in this area with talent, but for me it comes back to the character. That's why Austin Deleuze has been a professional for so long. It's the character and the drive that they have to really want to go and be a professional. It's not easy. You know, Austin, I'll tell you, getting drafted is as much of a dream as it is. It's not all sweetness and light. You've got to go, it's like a tryout again. You've got to go and earn your stripes. It's tough, but they've, you know, the fact they're here today and the club's growing and some of the opportunities coming, you know, they're in the playoffs. It's a good time to be a pro.
Brotherton back to Tambakis. We think we'll see that save of the week at halftime. USL Productions does such a great job. I've not seen the full reel yet, but they usually highlight the great goals, the great saves, and Tambakis has had a lot of great saves this year for sure.
Patient play from North Carolina, and I think this is almost like a prelude to the playoffs coming up. There's so much to lose. You know what I mean? St. Louis has so much to lose right now by giving up a goal and digging a hole for themselves. So they're super solid. NCFC trying to build that momentum and get on the ball and create goals and goal-scoring opportunities and get that rhythm back that they lost last week in Nashville.
Myas Lomas. Smith. 34th minute. Still no score. North Carolina FC, St. Louis FC. Alongside Andrew Tate, Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you in the Triangle on television, WRAL2, and across the World Wide Web on ESPN+. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. 0-0, battle in the midfield. There's Stephen Miller. Miller named the Offensive Player of the Year by North Carolina FC. Here's Aaron Guillen. Fortune was open, calling for it. DeLuz sees him. Fortune drop back, and Miller with a shot with his right. He can hit him with both feet. DeLuz, like you and I, saw Fortune open. When DeLuz got it, he found Fortune.
The right foot again, Dean. I think Tony's getting his phone out right now. Yeah. And another pitching wedge of a right foot into Dre Fortune. Great layoff. And Stephen Miller, you know, top scorer for the team. He probably wants that back to the target. A great effort.
Yeah, you called it. That layoff, as good as that right-footed pitching wedge from DeLuz was, that layoff from Fortune.
Yeah,
nice.
soft touch. I remember seeing a touch in last time out with Robbie Christo. Brilliant little touch around the corner. Very delicate. You've got to have a real quality control to be able to pull those things off in and around that penalty area.
Well, you just reminded me of something I wanted to check, and maybe we can find out at halftime. Here we go. Manny Perez to make it 1-0. Perez staying with it. Perez, he earned the PK before. This time he won't get it. And this time those crazy legs and that long stride, he just couldn't get it all together as he comes up limping. Coming the other way, St. Louis FC. We'll take a look back at that run from Perez. Next opportunity is Hilton. Again, we'll switch it. We saw him switch it to the right side earlier. Now he goes to the left side. Perfect passes from number 8. Coach Pulis was all about number 8.
Yeah, starting to get the ball, starting to make things tick a little bit. That was a real let-off there for St. Louis, and that could be just what they need to kick themselves in the backside here and get at North Carolina FC.
Bad turnover for Guillen. Is on it now as Dakers goes the other way here to Umar. To the feet there a moment. Cicerone back it in, and out of there by Brotherton. One back though by Hilton, who will spin around at DeLuz. A little push in the back, and DeLuz, kind of an unnecessary foul, and it'll be a free kick.
Clever, I think, that set piece time, get the big boys up, kind of break things up a little bit. I'm not sure. Austin DeLuz doesn't do too much there. Little knee in the backside. Yeah, I can see those hurt actually. Yeah, I'd give that. But these set piece opportunities very, very important for St. Louis FC. And after that last moment, it's moments like this that could really swing in their favor.
Minute 38. Lewis Hilton, like his coach and like my broadcast partner from England, great qualities here. Right foot, Brotherton, safety first. It'll be a corner kick, St. Louis FC.
Another opportunity. Brotherton does it well there. It's always a tough one, kind of going back to your goal. You don't know what's around you. It goes for safety, but they want to defend it again now.
Marius Lomas standing near Tambakis. At the moment, North Carolina FC not putting players on either the near or far post. They are sending 2 players over for protection with Hilton on what looks like will be a short corner. I think they'll tap it to Hilton and let Hilton drive it. Nope, they'll just step over it, let Hilton drive it from the start. Too late there to go out of bounds. Wasted opportunity to come back to the home team. 39th minute, 0-0.
Yeah, that was they've had some good opportunities with these set pieces, and I've been a little bit disappointed with them, but credit to North Carolina FC. They defended them well, got tight enough to make things really, really difficult, and that was a really tough challenge, tough shot there. That couldn't be steered on target. But it could come down to a game of set pieces today.
Deleuze off the top of his head. Second ball. Third ball. Fortune. Miller. And Miller not able to get around Kavita, who's listed at 6'1", 189. I'm going to give him 2 bills.
Yeah, I don't know how wide he is. We never get the dimensions of width, do we, you know? When you have to run 5 yards around him just to get back on the track you want to run, kind of slows you down a bit.
Walking you up to minute 40. Aaron Guillen, Brotherton. Well done by St. Louis FC to win it. Quick little touches. I think they really wanted that, spring that out to the right side, and a whistle as Alex Kamsia goes down. It'll be a foul on St. Louis.
Kamsia, hope he's okay. I think he's got a kick to the stomach there. Oh, take a second here.
Alex Kamsia, part of the Vancouver Whitecaps Academy program. He's from Vancouver. It was his original hope and dream to be drafted by Vancouver and end up back there. He was told by an agent that he was going to get drafted. He had a great career at North Carolina, won a ton of games, as Carlos Samuano always has his team in and around the College Cup. When he didn't get drafted, he sat around, as you see that foul right there, and was like, wait, I really like it here in North Carolina. I met my girlfriend here in North Carolina. You got the tussle going on between the 2 number 8s. I'll let you talk about what you saw there, then we'll cap Alex Kamsia.
Yeah, it's one of those, the ball's been popping up in that midfield, a few headers won. I think it's one of those, Hilton was always winning that header. And Fortune sort of thought about it, and then, well, I better jump into it, and then obviously catches Hilton. So I don't think there's too much there. The referee handled it well. No need to throw yellow cards out just yet.
This one's played in the back. Smith is in front of Alex Kamsia. Just put a bow on him. He said, you know, look, I like it here. I didn't get drafted. Didn't end up the way I wanted it. And he told me at that game against West Virginia, it's been great for him, as he loves living here, loves playing for this club.
I could be in jeopardy then, couldn't I, Dean, you know? Once this is done.
Well, he's just a rookie. He's going to play for 20 years, fine.
Exactly. Make the career out of it. Keep going, Alex. You're doing great.
Throw in for Guillen. Lomas. Deleuze.
An overload here on the right.
Yep, and the overload delivered. Perez back over to Fortune. One back. Here comes St. Louis FC, but Aaron Guillen able to get back there and win it first. Takes it away. Out of the back. 42nd minute. Sean Reynolds. Hilton going everywhere to make things happen. A beautiful ball, lovely ball, as they would say, and Brotherton is forced to knock it out of bounds yet again, and yet again another corner kick for the visitors from St. Louis, Andrew.
Yeah, and that's more like St. Louis right there, asking questions, kind of committing them forward. Hilton with that 3-wood this time, pinging it in behind. Blackwood, he'll make those runs all day. Not even taking a look, knows where the goal is, wants to fire it across and ask a question and a set piece. That's more like the St. Louis that I've seen where they have success, where they're asking questions at the back four, getting behind and generating these set piece opportunities.
Lewis Hilton back over there again. Talk it over. They go Hilton again. Hilton this time going far post. And battle, sent back across other side to lose with the shield, the step over, and there's that brilliant IQ as you take a look at Austin DeLuz. Celebration of an amazing career. As we said earlier, a career that on and off the field, not just on the field. You see the DeLuz family sitting in the suite right up there by us. There's Akira Fitzgerald, by the way, the Irish Ninja, who was the goalkeeper. Michael Harrington played with Austin DeLuz, now part of the UNC coaching staff. Played in Pitt County, North Carolina. Wilson, Michael Harrington, great story. He's here. The entire DeLuz family, his grandma and grandpa coming all the way over from San Diego. Two brothers.
Yeah, a lot of when that many people travel from that many corners of the US to come and see one player in his last regular season game, it says a lot about the player and the person and
the family.
Friend, I think his high school friends are here from Winston-Salem, so you know they're all out here to support Austin DeLuz and everything he's about.
Miller. Austin DeLuz had a great shift with Twin City Youth Soccer as Lomas takes that shot. Fortune on the turn. Fortune runs into white jerseys, needs some help. He'll get it from one of his best buds on the team, DJ Taylor. Fortune, DeLuz. Austin DeLuz taking a look, lofted. Once again over the head of Lomas. That's where you wonder about Robbie Cristo in the second half, as he is a giant ×2. Miller deflected. Guillen has made several runs forward. Look at Taylor now over on the left side. Miller overlapping run. Team looks like they're having fun. DeLuz back over to Taylor. DeLuz wants it again. We're in the 45th minute. We should get an indication of added time. I don't think it's going to be longer than 60 seconds. This game's been pretty clean.
Going 2 minutes, Dean. 2. I just want to say that I think there's a goal in it before the end of the half. Yeah, well, I need 2 minutes.
Yeah, I 100% going to win this one. So we'll even things up from the other day. Here is Lomas over to DeLuz. DeLuz over to Taylor. Taylor with the right foot now. Oh my, deflected, and with that correctly pronounced 1 minute.
Just trying to build your confidence.
Yeah, I need it.
Back on track.
I'm lacking in a whole lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's an awkward cross. Whenever that ball skips up in front of you on a slick surface like today, it's awkward. Comes off the shin, and thankful for St. Louis, it's over the top and for a corner, not testing the keeper.
Manuel Kavita's shin, so corner kick here. We got time to see a goal. 30 seconds in. North Carolina FC driven in, Olympico style. Wow, spinning that around. Graham Smith, I'll tell you, he's been more dangerous offensively. He's got no numbers to truly support it, but he almost smoked an Olympico in right there.
He creates chances, I think, isn't it? It's not the assists or goals, but it's the chances created. He's always got a hand in, whether it's the first pass, the second pass. And that one they caught the keeper out nearly.
DeLuz to Fortune! Saved by Gomez! DeLuz Fortune! That was a world-class shot and a big-time save.
Yeah. Anthony Pulis walking on the field there, I think, before the referee had blown the whistle. Get us off the field here. Great ball in, great touch.
Woo!
Fortune, and just if you're a couple yards either side of the keeper, and that's in the bottom corner. But fantastic bit of play all round.
This is not easy to get that ball on frame.
No, and to get it to sit down so you can hit it quick enough. You know, it's a great touch, and to swivel and hit it. But fantastic end to the half.
And with power behind it as well, if there was a blue jersey lurking, who knows what would happen. Halftime here at WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium. Mr. Gomez keeps it at 0. We'll be back for a look around USL Championship, talk a little USL Championship playoffs. Stay with us on WRAL2 and ESPN+.
Injured and he was prescribed pain opiates. No one ever told us how highly addictive these drugs were. My initial reaction was shock. My son didn't get so deep into the dark, scary woods overnight, and it's no straight line coming back. For parents out there who don't have hope, I realize there's a lot of families that are torn apart, but families can heal. Young people can get better.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org. I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Protect our kids. Protect our communities. Protect our waters. Unused medication poses a deadly risk to our loved ones, and flushing it could impact our environment. There's a way to get rid of leftover medication. It's safe and it's easy. Just toss it in a permanent drop box near you. Operation Medicine Drop. What's in your medicine cabinet?
I don't remember how it started.
North of that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Final regular season game of the 2019 USL Championship season. Fantastic crowd here to celebrate the amazing career of Austin Deluse. Their halftime score, North Carolina FC, St. Louis FC 0. Too many Deluses to count in the suite right below us. We welcome you back up to the perch. Hello again, everybody. He's Andrew Tate. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with you and delighted to be celebrating Austin Deluse tonight.
Yeah, a real top man. I'm really happy to be here and obviously be able to watch the game with you, Dean, but top man, and I couldn't say enough positive things about Austin Deluse.
Well, I'll tell you what, we don't even have to say it. We can see it. A special tribute made by the North Carolina FC staff. Let's take a look and enjoy Austin Deluse.
It's mission accomplished for Wake Forest. They win the NCAA Men's College Cup.
Hi, Austin. I've known you for 20-some years. So if you're a little kid jumping in practices at Wake, to now the young man that you are, just wanted to congratulate you on a tremendous career.
Austin, congratulations on an amazing career. I think we all knew from seeing you, meeting you as a 12-year-old boy, the things you were going to go on and do were going to be incredibly special.
Deluser, I just want to congratulate you on retirement, man, and what a great career you had.
Deluser, I always benefited from being your teammate. You always made me look better. You always made the guys around you look better. And you've grown over a long time into the kind of person that makes the people around him better. I know I've benefited from that.
It's opener, and it's Austin Deluse who scored it.
Austin Deluse, I still can't believe that you're retiring. I still don't want you to retire.
Hey Austin, I just want to congratulate you on an amazing career. You have so much to be proud of, and remember, it's not over because we always got you involved.
Deluse, Steinberger rolls off of it. Deluse, oh! My! And how about North Carolina FC? Benjamin Button style, Austin Deluse.
Deluse, congrats on a truly incredible career. Not too many people can say they've played for 10 years.
Deluse following the play up. Austin Deluse trying to put it on frame, and he tucks it in.
Best of luck moving forward. It's the next stage in your career, and all the best.
So cheers, buddy. Looking forward to seeing you around on a few more Saturdays and a few more weekends now that you're hanging them up.
Good luck with everything. Congrats on an amazing career, and let's go out with a bang.
Look forward to seeing you soon. Congrats again. See ya.
He's going to have another opportunity. Heidemann comes forward. Good ball back in. There it is. And how about North Carolina FC? Austin Deluse. If you know Austin Deluse, you love Austin Deluse. You love the way he plays. You love the way he carries himself. You love his family as well. They are all here to celebrate the brilliance, indeed, of Austin Deluse. There's been some brilliant moments in USL, as always. The USL Championship folks do a great job. Let's take a look at the best of what was a week ago USL Championship and USL League One style.
What this club is trying to do is offer a real sense of community.
But it's all about the process. Make sure you're doing the little things right. We have a really strong locker room, and everybody really wants to do well for the club.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. This is a big day. This is a big deal for us. This is a win for the community.
We've been averaging, between, I would say, 10 and 12,000 a game.
And it is a loud, boisterous 10,000, 12,000, and they love us, and we love them just as much. I mean, it's a reciprocal relationship at all times.
We never thought that we would grow this fast.
I have to pinch myself because, it sometimes seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's been pretty unbelievable, and, it's been done better than I ever could have dreamt of, to be honest.
This is a club for New Mexico, by New Mexicans.
And I don't think that we're done yet. It's just getting started.
Soccer Park, Cary, North Carolina, home to North Carolina FC, part of the USL Championship, as we take a look at some of the top storylines laid out by one of our key members, Brian Ware. Of course, Phoenix has been amazing all season long. They've got the #1 seed in the playoffs.
They're a fantastic team. It's one of those, with the way American leagues are set up, to win the Western Conference, and that means that's great, but now they want to win the whole thing. So
nice to see some new teams, El Paso and Austin Bold, also make the playoffs in their first year.
And that's got to be special for Austin Bold, obviously, after losing Isaac Promise, Promise Isaac, to kind of get through now and keep that season going, to kind of memorize him.
Coach Lilly in Pittsburgh with the babyface assassin, Robbie Mertz, they're doing great. Nashville beat North Carolina FC the other night. They've got one loss in their last 8 games. And all that leads to the important chase for those final 10 spots. If it ended right now, that's where it would be, but it hasn't ended right now. St. Louis, if they get 3, they'll jump up to 45, and that means Birmingham Legion has got to get a win if, in fact, St. Louis FC can get a win. If St. Louis FC gets a tie, I think based on all the tiebreakers, it's not good enough.
Yeah, and then even if they win, Birmingham Legion plays Pittsburgh Riverhounds tomorrow, which is a fantastic game because the implications it has towards who wins the Eastern Conference. So really exciting weekend and great to kind of build towards these last few weeks of the season.
All right, and then we'll take a look around at some scores. Charleston putting some heat down on Bethlehem. Charlotte on top of Ottawa.
Yeah, Charlotte, that's an interesting one for North Carolina, obviously. They want to finish 7th, so a win today, and we'll take care of it, but get a little help from Charlotte here.
I'm going to put some pressure on you. I'm going to let you bring us to break talking about these Hamilton Awards for North Carolina FC Youth. What does it mean real quick?
Yeah, it's an award that's been going for a long time about, you know, Pat Hamilton, a pioneer in North Carolina, and really it kind of comes back to just being a good teammate, a good student of the game, and having a great attitude, and being a good sportsman as well, which amazingly today ties in really well with Austin Deleuze, his last regular season game before he retires. So I thought that was a nice kind of coincidence, let's say.
Well said. Full stop period on that. Halftime, North Carolina FC, St. Louis FC, as we congratulate these young boys and girls for winning their Hamilton Awards tonight at Wakeman Soccer Park in Cary. Stay with us. More NCFC and St. Louis FC USL Championship action on WRAL2 and ESPN+.
Disaster can strike at any moment. But fortunately, Strategic Systems has got your back. If your data has been compromised, disaster recovery services from Strategic Systems will have you up and running in no time. Your data is critical. Protect it.
Continental tires are built for the road, connecting you to all of life's adventures. Whether you drive to live or live to drive, Continental tires deliver the performance you need to tackle those adventures with confidence. Continental Tire, for what you do.
A month from now, you'll be a little older. A year from now, you'll be a little wiser. Will you be stronger? Your best is not behind you. Look forward.
Back on the road. Back in the saddle. Back to the land. Back in the game. Back in the swing of things. Back in the groove. WakeMed Orthopedics, the exceptional care you need to get back your life.
He's gonna go at goal. Shot and a goal! That has to be on the goal of the week. Now getting the time, Sam Warner, the beauty. Goal! Lula with the bicycle! Oh, can you see that coming? Great save by Putnam on the goal line. And Taylor with a beautiful strike. Are you kidding?
Splendid night for soccer at Wakeman Soccer Park, Salem Stadium. Cary, North Carolina, home to North Carolina FC, tied with St. Louis FC at 0s through 45, alongside NCFC youth coach Andrew Tate. I'm Dean Linke. Anything stand out here as far as stats?
Not really. I mean, it was a cagey first half. Both teams really important, you know, putting a lot of emphasis on this first goal. North Carolina, when they've led at halftime or been a goal up, they've got an incredible record, and an incredible record at home as well. So St. Louis are aware of that. Obviously been very respectful to North Carolina with possession, but obviously corners, set pieces are a key factor in the game, but surprisingly a lot of that's gone to North Carolina, maybe as a result of a lot of that possession that's been telling there.
62% to 38%. Both teams back out here. St. Louis FC in their white. See Blackwood 14. They have made a change coming into the game is number 99, Masta Kasher. He's from Algeria. So Kasher into the game for St. Louis FC. As you said so astutely, Andrew, they got to throw everything at this if they want a chance to make the playoffs. And last time I checked, you make the playoffs, you earn a little more money. So they want to do that for sure, right?
Yeah, no one wants the season to end today. Big 45 minutes for St. Louis here. Kasher is a player, very crafty on the dribble, will come inside, can go either way. But he's a player that I'm excited to watch. I saw a big 90 minutes for him up against Loudoun a couple of weeks ago. So I think he'll add something to the second half here.
So Dakers is out, Kasher is in. And they decide to keep Lomas in over the top. Stephen Miller staying with, oh, and Miller took a shot to the head. And the referee doesn't do anything. Miller stops, not able to shake it off. I don't even know if he realized he was on and in. And Dave Sarakin, Austin Deleuze now talking to the referee.
I mean, the problem with this one is if it's a head injury, Dean, which is what it is, the referee's supposed to stop the game. But if he's saying he wasn't kicked, then I guess he allows it to play on, and I guess Stephen Miller's faking. But that, for me, looked like a big decision that hasn't gone NCFC's way, and a let-off for St. Louis. You can see here, Stephen Miller just gets in front of the defender, gets his head in, very brave, and the foot comes up, catches right on the nose. I mean, the referee had a bad position, I think, because he's behind the play, but...
That's a card, too, right?
How neither of the officials have seen that is beyond me, to be honest.
That's straight to the head, and that's the only reason why he didn't continue to fight through, because he was on, and there's blood as well.
I'll tell you what, if this was the other way around for St. Louis right now, because obviously NCFC, they've already got a playoff spot. If this was the other way around for St. Louis right now, Lord knows the reaction of Anthony Pulis. It's a head scratcher. Look at Dave. Yeah,
you don't see him too animated too often, Andrew Tate.
Well, it's very bemusing, I think, isn't it? So how has nobody seen this? The two officials not seen this when everyone else has. I guess, you know, the nosebleed just happened, you know, spontaneously at that time.
The referee knows it too. Knows he missed it. He's in. I mean, it's yellow card, red card material. Look at Dave Sarakin. That look right there says it all, does it not? Wow. And Dave Sarakin, you talk about one of the true gentlemen of the game. Miller's got, yeah, that's you. The referee knows it.
Yeah, I don't know what you can do now, though. I mean, one of the officials has to have seen that.
Oh, right across the face, blood.
It's insult to injury, right, Dean? You get one, you get a whack on the nose, and then two, you get nothing for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about we join the Oak City supporters and Los Renegados and make a little noise for your number 31, Stephen Miller.
That's going to add a little spice, I think, to the second half right there, happening so early on.
Lomas got a touch. Dave Sarakin told me, Andrew Tate, that maximum 55 minutes for him unless there is something else that he sees. So we'll see what happens. You see Miller now protecting that bloody nose. You know, in college soccer now, for linear games, they have replay for discipline issues where they can go back, and they also have it for goals. So that could have been a situation right there, and they can do it. Usually they do it based on whether it's a yellow or a red, and they could have done it right there.
I mean, it's a high foot. He's the last defender. I mean, nothing was good about that.
Manny Perez, DJ Taylor. Taylor, first time, squares it through. Miller back in there. Miller, oh, and he's grabbed, and now they're going to, oh, and it's still loose. And they still don't point to the spot. It looked like the referee was going to have a chance to make up for it. Miller was grabbed, I believe. Was he not? Let's take a look.
That's a great little play from DJ Taylor. Squares it across, gets a lucky bounce here off the St. Louis defender. Miller's in.
You can't do that.
I mean, I don't know how the referee's missed two now. He's missed two. St. Louis hanging on by the skin of their teeth here. And you just wonder if this is going to work against North Carolina now. These breaks not going for them.
Wait, did I not see that right? He put one hand on one arm, one hand on the other, in and around the 6. And now there's going to be a yellow. Is that on Deleuze?
Yeah, it's getting tasty. It's getting tasty. It was a quiet first half, but wow, we've had more action in the first 5 minutes here, and I think it's going to keep going. It's going to be a story of the second half. You're right, Dean. You're absolutely right. There's no way that's not a penalty. Nutmeg, Deleuze. I mean, it's an honest attempt for the ball there. I think that's very harsh on Austin Deleuze. He's tried to play the ball. He's just mistimed it slightly, and he gets a yellow card. But we've had 2 red card opportunities because here you got the penalty. He's clearly beyond him. Grabs both
one
arms.
Arm, other arm. You can't do that. You can't do that around the 6 right there. And he still almost scored despite all of that.
Great save from the keeper. Gets a bit lucky off the post.
Did you not see kind of the way the referee stepped forward to? Did it not look like as he saw the arm? I thought he was going to point to it. He took a step forward watching it.
I know. I think we've lost a little bit of control here, to be honest, Dean. It's one of those, he doesn't want to make, he knows how big those moments are, and it takes a strong person to make the big call at a big moment. And he's, for whatever reason, deemed them to not be fouls, which is absolutely bemusing to everybody in the stadium, I think. Even St. Louis, I think, no, they've gotten away with one or two, as the case is here.
After all of that, Austin Deleuze, being the veteran captain that he is, sends a little message, I think, with that yellow card pinged off of there. And perhaps a message needed to be sent, right? Particularly to the referee. And look, the referee ends up giving him a yellow, so perhaps the referee's saying, hey, joke's on you, but they got to get this under control here, right?
Yeah, but this is playoff soccer right now. You know, you've got to keep your head, no matter what decision, things are going to go against you, and they certainly have for North Carolina FC. They've got to keep their head and continue to keep doing the things they're doing.
52nd minute. Off the yellow card, it becomes a corner kick. Back across. Finding the head there of Fanuel Kavita.
Yeah, you can see he wants that one back. Free header in the box and doesn't keep it down and work the goalkeeper, Tambakis. He's made a lot of saves this year. I think it's 90 on the season. Save of the week numerous times, but not really had to make a save today.
Pop it over the top. They don't get it back to their goalkeeper. A mistake. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
You've got to think that one of these chances is going to go in the back of the net for North Carolina FC. There's no point dwelling on the past. They've got to keep focus on the future and keep kind of creating these chances in these corners. Sooner or later, I think one's going to end up in the back of the net.
Graham Smith coming over to take the corner for North Carolina FC. Smith. Good ball, Lomas. Heads it down. Looked like he did that on purpose, hoping Taylor or Fortune were there, Andrew, but nobody was. Taylor gets stuck in, trying to rip it away from Oscar Umar, and they win it back. Deleuze now on it. Deleuze back over to Taylor. Miller calling for it. Miller will get it. Miller now pushes it to Manny Perez. Perez, he can take you here. Perez, couple dances. You know where he's going, down near the end line. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
It's just 9-10 corners so far for the game.
Yeah, they had 7 at the half. You're right. They just had one on the other side. So rolling along, putting some pressure. Gomez with that massive save in the final seconds of the first half on that pass from Deleuze to Fortune. Fortune turning the half volley with some pace, but Gomez knocking it away. Got some weapons warming up. Robbie Christo, Yamakani, Chester, Smith. This time he goes low with it. Same result, knocked out of there by St. Louis. Taylor's going to run it down to Alex Kamsia. So now Kamsia, middle of the park. Kamsia. One back by St. Louis FC. Tie's not good enough for St. Louis FC. It won't do it. They got to get 3. Dre Fortune. Fortune.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. You come out of the second half, you'd think that St. Louis would be the team on the front foot, but it's been the other way around, hasn't it? Two great opportunities, and the referee decided otherwise on the decisions, but they've really come out with an impetus. They're pressing, they're getting tight to St. Louis and making it difficult for them, and they're just coughing up possession at the moment.
See it, side of his foot. Dave Sarakin gets a touch on it. John Bradford down with him. Clint P.A., Nick Platter. That's a really good coaching staff, Coach.
Yeah, first year they've all been kind of pieced together, you know, and they seem to gel and all kind of do their functions and roles to support each other. And obviously, first time round playoff appearance.
And to be fair, when I talked to all 3 of them, and Nick Platter actually did get elevated to an assistant GM role for the men's side. But when you talk to John Bradford, then you roll down, you talk to Clint P.A., who was in line to get some college jobs locally here in North Carolina, as he's made this his home. St. Louis FC. I'll finish that thought in a moment. Deleuze, little clip right there. They sound like head coaches. John Bradford sounds like a guy that eventually will be a head coach at this kind of level. To make it 1-0, the save there from Tambakis, the shot coming from Kadeem Feo, and Tambakis with the save right there.
A big save and a great look. You could see all the St. Louis coaching staff and bench out of their seats thinking this was the moment. When on his left foot, does well, nearly tries to squeak it in the near post, but Tambakis is going to take a lot to beat him in that situation.
Bradley Camden Feo with that shot, wearing the number 6 jersey. He's from Paris, France. Corner kick, St. Louis FC, 56th minute. Spinning. Snapped out of there by Guillen. That one landed out of bounds.
Great header. Love to see that as a former defender myself, just rising and powering the header away from danger.
Camden Feo, who earned the corner kick, will now take the throw. Camden Feo off Cancia. Not totally cleared by Deleuze. Kept alive here by St. Louis FC. They're in the 18 again, making runs. Hard tackle coming in by Brotherton. Still not out of danger. Shot back across. Tambakis was in a pretty good spot, they'll say, off of North Carolina FC. And Andrew, will be a corner kick, St. Louis FC.
And yet again, another corner kick. Lewis Hilton, but that was a good opportunity there. I think Tambakis saw it late. I don't quite know who it caught, but that dive there is kind of a dive in despair. You're just hoping it goes past the post, and thankfully for North Carolina FC, it did.
St. Louis FC, they've sorted it out here. They have to. They have to get a win. North Carolina FC, worth repeating, they're already in. 7 or 8 seed, October 23rd, 7 p.m. out here at WakeMed Soccer Park. Want to see you out here, folks. This crowd tonight is solid, 5,000 plus on a Saturday night. Pretty nice to see as that'll go off of Guillen. It'll be a corner kick, but this is a really nice crowd tonight, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm expecting more on Wednesday, but because it's one of those games for the soccer purists. Maybe today's not the day. But on a cold October night, the game's finally poised, and it means so much to the players on the field right now, especially those St. Louis boys.
Lewis Hilton, if anybody can make something happen, right foot of Hilton can do it. Hilton is going to take it. That's a good ball. Hanging around, second ball, third ball, still loose, and now Tambakis. Tambakis goes down. You can see right there that Kavita thought that he went down with minimal contact. Tambakis.
Yeah. The referee calls that one, right? I think North Carolina would be wishing they'd had a few calls go in the other box.
Take another look at it here. Lomas is there. Kavita's there, and I think, yeah, Kavita did hit Tambakis, actually.
Yeah, I think he's got every right to go for that, but it's always going to get called in the goalkeeper's favor, any sort of contact.
Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. 59th minute. With Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke. No score here. WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina. An exquisite field, exquisite stadium. So glad that you can peek in it via WRAL2 in the Triangle and worldwide on ESPN+. I don't know about you, Andrew Tate, and I wasn't much of a soccer player like you. You were a next level player, but when you walk out on this pitch, whether you played soccer or not, you want to play soccer.
Yeah, it's a carpet, absolute carpet. Every blade of grass looks like it's been cut by a pair of scissors, you know?
Just lay down that checkered blanket and have a picnic, right?
Yeah. Not the night for, I don't think, today, Dean, to be honest. It's the night for bloody noses and, you know, lots of brave, full force tackles.
That's well said. St. Louis FC going to try to build it out of the back through Gomez. Gomez had a hero moment in this one. Keep it at zeros. Now played over to Umar. Umar comes in hard. One back by Miller. Miller's going to want one here. He deserves one. Miller. Deleuze is floating back across. Deleuze was open at the top of the 18. Any rebound, and he was putting it in. Deleuze will leave it for Taylor. Now Deleuze coming in support for Manny Perez. Robbie Christo is going to get in the next opportunity, probably for Lomas, as Lomas making a little deeper run than even Dave Sarakin had expected. Promised 45, said maybe 55. He's going to go maybe 65. Miller, one too many touches, taken away by St. Louis FC.
There's that ball from Hilton. Oh, well, one he's miscued. There you go. Usually that 3 would have been right there for him, but there he tried to get a bit bent on it, didn't quite get the shape he was looking for to get St. Louis on the front foot, because possession in their defensive third, not really their game. And you could see North Carolina's kind of setting traps and pouncing and trying to create something there, but that's where we want Lewis Hilton on the front foot, playing those deeper balls for Blackwood and Calvert to put the back four of NCFC under pressure.
Yeah, Hilton's special. We certainly enjoyed watching him pinging balls even in warm-up. Our intention was, based on the Austin Deleuze love and those little easy segues, was to look at Sam Fink, because he played at Wake Forest, obviously not the same time as Austin Deleuze, but we were going to tie it all together. And Fink, as you even said, Andrew Tate, he's played a ton of soccer, but he's not out there. He's on the bench and available, but not out there at the moment.
Yeah, last 2 games not been selected, despite starting and playing every minute up to then, you know, and had a big role in their US Open Cup run, and wins against the Chicago Fire and FC Cincinnati, and came up, I think, with a couple of big goals along the way as well. So he's a threat on set pieces. So not quite sure why he's not in the starting 11 today, but obviously Anthony Pulis going with what he feels is his best side.
Yeah, Fink was actually named to the best 11 of the U.S. Open Cup coming out of USL Championship, which is saying something, but one of the ways to get there is beating MLS teams. Manny Perez back across. Austin Deleuze was a part of some big wins over the years for this club. Previously Carolina Railhawks, and wins over LA Galaxy in the U.S. Open Cup. Staying with it here, St. Louis FC, Blackwood. Blackwood was another player that both Dave Sarakin, John Bradford, and Nick Platter talked about, but we haven't said his name hardly at all.
No, and he's a very industrious player. He's a real hard worker. I just think North Carolina FC have been smart about moving the ball and keeping it away from him and denying those opportunities in behind.
All right, so here comes the big man, Robbie Christo, coming into the game for Marius Lomas, who gave Dave Sarakin a pretty good idea of what he can do. He made himself visible and available. He was just a little off on some pretty good balls in the air.
Yeah, we had that one chance, I think, in the first half that really sticks in my mind, Dean, where the keeper made a good save. It's an awkward kind of a half volley, just trying to guide it on frame. But he'll just be happy to be back on the field and contributing here to North Carolina FC, and hopefully in training get some more time under his belt and ask a few questions of Dave Sarakin and see what comes up on Wednesday.
Robbie Christo had an extended run a couple weeks ago against the New York Red Bulls with Donovan Iwolo. Went out with that injury, played a little bit more than he normally would. And you know what he did is he did exactly what we were wondering if Lomas was going to do. He did do that Iwolo work, if you remember, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he was puffing towards the end, wasn't he, the big boy? But he put in a fantastic shift. And I think it was a big change. I think was getting Al-Badawi up alongside him. But so he's got that support. You know, he's not as mobile as Iwolo, but he certainly offers some quality up front in terms of his size and physique, and very nimble as well for a big man.
Yeah, you talk about his size. He is 6'4", 210 pounds. Right now, though, St. Louis FC taking a shot from distance, getting over the ball is Blackwood.
Hit with a lot of anger, I think, that one, right? But Blackwood, he's a boy that he kind of leads from the front, presses and puts a lot of pressure on folks, and he'll want that one back. I'm sure we'll see more of him in this second half. Christo, though, a player that I'm sure is going to cause some problems for the back line here. Maybe a few more than Lomas scores, but he's not the last man you want to see coming on with 25 minutes to go.
Yeah, he's played now in 25 games, but he's only started 7, so he has epitomized that super sub role in that limited time. He's got 8 goals, and his 8 goals with Iwolo, just one behind the team leader, Stephen Miller. That's pretty good production per minute. He's been the most productive player as far as number of minutes played with points.
Absolutely, yeah, that says a lot. He's definitely got some magic in those blue boots.
Blue boots and that 6'4" frame, right?
Yeah. Will we see the mask, Dean? That's the question we want to be asking.
Well, I started to get to that earlier because I wanted to check his yellow card status, knowing that I think that they'll wipe it clean for the playoffs. So if they wipe it clean, maybe Dave Sarakin can turn his head. If they don't wipe it clean, which they probably don't, and he's on that number, then he's got to avoid the mask, right?
Absolutely. Maybe there's an extra mask for Austin Deleuze or something, you know, nice touch there, you know.
Well, Austin's already got the yellow, though, so that would be quite the way to be set.
Oh, yeah. Didn't think of that, Dean.
Here's Perez. Perez.
I think it was talked about he wants to go out on his own terms. That would be going out on your own terms, wouldn't it?
Deleuze over to Fortune. Fortune back across. At the end of the day, Deleuze, an outstanding human being, but he's got some fight in him, and he is not going to sail off to the sunset with people saying he never got a red card. He got some red cards. I've witnessed him as that one bounced around. Miller's had himself a good game and did not get a call that he deserved, rightfully, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Austin Deleuze, after he retires, will not become a referee. I will tell you that. He won't become a referee. He's had many a conversation with them down the years. But he did say he's not sure what he's going on to do, but I'm going to rule out refereeing.
He's going to do something great, though, folks. Graham Smith over the ball, North Carolina FC. Handled there by Gomez. We're in the 67th minute, and just like the first half, this one flying along pretty good pace.
Yeah, disappointing delivery there from Graham Smith. When he's put it on the money, it's definitely caused problems in that one there. A real waste of an opportunity, and not kind of what they're looking for going into the playoffs. Every moment is vital. But that sort of summarizes this game a little bit, just a lack of quality at times and crucial times.
Albert Dikwa from Cameroon will check in. Nice little international flavor on this St. Louis FC team.
Another 6-footer like myself coming in, Dean, so he goes back to those set pieces.
It'll fall here now to Cashier. Umar. This man's been busy. Kavita has come forward on all of those corner kicks. And Tambakis off his line. He's got a good step. The road to the 2019 USL Championship final begins next week with the play-in games Wednesday, October 23rd, followed by a full slate of conference quarterfinals beginning Saturday, October 26th. For specific match dates and times, visit USLChampionship.com. Tune in for every minute of playoff action on ESPN+. Taylor, his ball too far away.
It's just not happened today. But as we look at the clock right now, Dean, we're at 23 minutes sub coming here, but 23 minutes left. There's a plus stoppage time for St. Louis' season currently.
Yeah.
Do or die.
That's why Caleb Culver just did a sprint, 40-yard dash style. You see Coach Pulis giving him a pat on the back.
It's one of those. It's not a huge bold change to go forward though. You may be thinking, let's shuffle some things at the back, but I guess, like I said, they won't care when they score. They just have to score to try and keep this season alive.
Cristo goes down. It'll be a free kick opportunity for North Carolina FC. You see Robbie Cristo down. There's the change as Calvert coming out of the game and coming into the game, Albert Dikwa from Cameroon, 20-year-old. Gomez, 25 years old, from St. Louis, Missouri, which ironically that's where Cristo played. Scored a lot of goals, over 40 goals in his collegiate career. Here in the pipes, the PA announcer Mark Calloway talking about the Alpaca free kick. As they run over, it's lofted in, trying to find Brotherton. Not Cristo that time. Taylor! Those are the balls that scare me with playoff games around the corner.
Referee thought about blowing his whistle, but he hasn't done that yet for North Carolina today. Why start now?
'70th minute. Yamakani Chester with the great hair, big time smile, and some electrifying play.
Tell you what, Dean, I know you've been around covering some games the last week or two, but Yamakani Chester's travel plans, that's a whole story in itself. Traveling to Malawi and what have you. Multiple planes. It's certainly not the life of luxury sometimes being a pro.
No, well said. Yeah, that's been the biggest thing. mission accomplished for Dave Sarachan. He needed to see, Andrew Tate, what Lomas can bring, right? Because you got that playoff game on Wednesday, and then based on what you just talked about, all the movement of Chester in and out with the national team and back and trying to stay in form, he had to get him some minutes here.
Yeah, another opportunity, another chance for him to impact the game off the bench. That flying pace down this flank will not be what Bradley Camden-Feo wants to see.
Manny Perez coming out. Chester coming in.
Perez is not slow, but Yamakani Chester is lightning.
He is lightning. Reminds you of the human highlight reel, T. Shipolani. We celebrated his greatness along with Capono Low tonight, post-game. Celebrate the greatness of Austin Deleuze, who's got it right now. Deleuze right back to Taylor. Taylor, Crystal trying to get in position. The flick from Crystal. Chester's held up right there. And once again, they don't get the call. They could have got the call. Chester didn't fall down, but it was Camden-Feo who blocked Chester and may have done it illegally, but nonetheless, no call there.
I think that's just the decisions prior, adding insult to injury.
Running downhill, the player that we talked about, Blackwood. Taylor rips it away. This is another 50-50 ball. Alex Kamsia gets there first. Crystal. Those are what one coach called me a gulp ball. They take a giant gulp as they try to run it down. Here's Chester. Chester back over to Fortune. Fortune waiting for it. Crystal first times it. Goes through Smith, but cleaned up by Alex Kamsia. And he was involved in that gulp ball I'm talking about as he came in hard. And as a coach, knowing the playoffs around the corner, you know what I mean by that, that big gulp. No, just don't get injured, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hold your breath moment.
Guillen. Crystal calling for it. Guillen, little touch back. Guillen again. Now Crystal, back heel. And you saw Aaron Guillen, he wanted it back. Instead, they tried to find Chester.
St. Louis really on the back foot at the moment, just cannot get anything going offensively. And it's some great football from North Carolina FC, probably a little bit too intricate there, and instead of getting off your foot and striking it and making this keeper work, because we haven't seen him make enough saves today.
Deleuze over to Taylor. Taylor, Deleuze back. Flag stays down, but runs out of room, DJ Taylor. Boy, based on the USA's game against Toronto, I may not want to do that comparison to DeAndre Yedlin anymore. Not that he was terrible, but the team collectively, that was a miserable result.
Yeah, I even spoke to one of the Canadian fans who works at NCFC Youth, and you know, I was thinking he'd be really happy about it, but he just said what a bad game it was all round. You know, which is just a real shame. These friendlies are an opportunity to really kind of, well, not friendlies, that was a big game for the US and Canada. But they're an opportunity for some of these young boys to really make a name for themselves.
Deleuze, Fortune, Smith, Miller time! Deflected there by Gomez. Miller fights back for it. Fortune. North Carolina FC very much looks like the team that needs the 3 points to get into the playoffs. With all respect to St. Louis FC, I think their fans would also agree right now, as North Carolina FC has looked to be the better side so far.
Yeah, you can't argue with sometimes they say the old one, the table doesn't lie, you know, and there's a lot of points difference between these two teams, and you can see it today clearly in terms of the performance, and that's with some of the regulars on the bench. So certainly some questions being asked of Dave Sarachan going into Wednesday.
Saw that Anthony Pulis, assisted by Max Rogers, also from England. Brian Jones, part of the staff as well. 75th minute. Or from Scotland, actually, Max Rogers is from.
Oof, don't get those two mixed up.
Right? Probably in trouble there.
Rogers. Me calling you Canadian. You're like, what?
Well, I would be okay with that. Nice people from Canada. 75th
Good
minute.
Recovery. The Scottish and the English do not say that.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Here's Guillen.
It's okay, because I'm half Scottish, so we're okay.
Couple touches. Guillen's had a nice game. Deleuze runs into trouble. Taken away there by Cashier.
And that's usually a lose move right there, where he sort of dangles the ball in front of you. You think, oh, I'm going to win that, and then usually he pulls a little quick feet to shimmy past you.
Yeah, and then he'll take a shot too.
I've fallen for that one many a time playing with him in the winter when he was at Wake Forest. I just try to kick him.
Hilton. I think he may have actually tried to get it over there, and it's worked out, but one back by Guillen. Aaron Guillen. Hey, folks, pay attention to this guy. Aaron Guillen is one of the better defenders in this league. Nobody talks about him.
You're starting that campaign, Dean. I love it. You're always about highlighting the people that are not being appreciated.
Chester. Yamakani Chester. Step over T. Cipollone style. Trying to thread the needle. Not there. Miller wanted it. Crystal was interested in it, but Chester was shooting the entire time.
Yeah, here we go. Chester. I wouldn't say he's known for this dribbling in front of the defender, but does well, shifts it onto his weaker left foot, just tries to shape it around the defender. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get enough spin on the ball there to bend it back into the corner.
Certainly not known like the player that wore 11 before him, the great T. Cipollone.
This crowd really, really wants a goalie. I think it's a good crowd and want that goal just to really kind of propel them into Wednesday night.
77th minute. And once again, North Carolina FC not getting the call. I have not seen Dave Sarakin this animated with the referee. You saw the stare down he was even given to the fourth official, which not much he can do, but it was fair. I mean, Millard took a shot to the face on a breakaway.
Great play, Chester.
Yeah, Chester rips it away. Ooh.
DJ Taylor looking gassed. He's struggling to get back into position. Chester's not recovering for him.
Hilton, great ball. This is dangerous. Hilton will get it back, takes a rip with his left, can't win it. We're seeing the fight now of St. Louis FC. They want this. And the shot from distance coming from Cashier, not on frame.
The question is, does Anthony Pulis have an ace up his sleeve here? Because I just don't see a goal coming for St. Louis here.
There's been some controversial plays so far.
I think you put that lightly there, to be honest. Understatement. I mean, how that's not even just a foul. Forget a red card, how it's not even a foul, I don't know. Anywhere on the field, that's a foul.
Stephen Miller, to read his lips, that's on you. Now watch this one. One arm, two arms. He's got the ball. That's a penalty.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The advantage doesn't matter. You've got to pull it back and give a penalty there. It's a much better opportunity to take a penalty than it is to shoot off balance with the guy pulling you to the ground.
Great job to our outstanding crew here, showing you those key plays. Part of the reason still zeros. Chester can change it here. Chester hits it. And the problem is Miller's open. Miller yelling at Yamakani Chester in a friendly way. Crystal was also there, but he had two players open too.
Yeah, great combination with Dre Fortune. Nods it down, gets the ball from Fortune, and then he just snatches at it. He just never really looked comfortable and with his technique there, and just pulls it.
So Andrew, in my opinion, again, you know more about soccer than I ever will, but he had time to take a touch, and by taking a touch, he then can control his options a little better.
Have you ran at that speed, Dean? That's the problem. For us slow people, we see these fast guys, we're like, it's so easy, just do your step over, go there. But they're running at such a pace that I just don't think the connection's there sometimes, you know? That's what makes the elite players so good. But yeah, you're right, he had so much time to just shift his body, turn his hips, and get a better connection on it, or even take a touch and make a better angle for himself.
Well, and then I think if he does take the touch, it gives him just another second to say, wait, do I have a good angle here, or does Miller or Crystal have a better angle? And maybe that last part still doesn't come in his mind because he wants to score.
Yeah, I think that's confidence, isn't it? That's just snatching at a chance that, you know, Wolo, when we had that penalty the other week, just waiting for the ball to come down and stroking it home, and that's the difference between players at that elite level, that they have that composure. They almost play the game in slow motion.
Dean Linke with Andrew Tate at halftime. North Carolina FC Youth doing that special recognition for the Hamilton Awards. I actually had some parents of kids that told me they were coming tonight because of their kids. That's what it's all about, right? That connectivity, and we got to keep growing that. The kids got to want to come out even when they're not winning the Hamilton Award, Andrew Tate.
Absolutely, yeah. The one thing I'd love is if the weather was just fantastic. You know what I mean? Like we've got the heat of the summer, which makes it really tough to sit out in North Carolina because you want to be in the air conditioning. Then now we've got the cold of winter coming. But it's a real test to you how much you really love the game.
St. Louis FC, they can get their 3 right here. It's wide open. DJ Taylor trying to get back. Cashier making a move. Runs into Fortune, but stays with it. That's to Cashier. He's from Algeria. First time, looking for Blackwood. Brotherton finds Chester. Chester will use Guillen. Tambakis will send it long.
It looks like Chester and Stephen Miller have switched sides for the last 10 minutes here, maybe giving the St. Louis boys a different look. I'm just looking at St. Louis and I don't quite see where this goal's coming from, Dean. You know, they're not generating much offense here, and they really need, this is do or die now. Last 10 minutes of their season, effectively.
Austin Deleuze stays out there. They've made 2 subs. You'd like to think that sometime here in the next 10 minutes, Dave Sarakin will perhaps bring in Nazmi Abadawi as a salute to Austin Deleuze. I think they may happen right now. Nazmi Abadawi still warming up, the only player for Dave Sarakin. John Bradford, Clint P.A., Nick Platter, the coaching staff from North Carolina FC. 82nd minute. Ball down to the end line. Corner kick. Corner kick, St. Louis FC.
These are the moments Anthony Pulis has been working on, I'm sure, all week in training to really take advantage of. And I bigged up Lewis Hilton before the game due to his goal and assists against Loudoun United a couple of weeks ago in that 4-3 defeat, but hasn't quite delivered that money ball into the box. We'll see if this is the one.
Alex Tambakis, who had the save of the month, his pivotal save against Ottawa Fury. 4 times he got the save of the month, 5 times save of the week. Tambakis, more great work from Brian Ware. 82nd minute, corner kick, driven in, headed out of there by Robbie Christo, who comes back with that 6'4" frame. We talked about it in that New York Red Bulls game. You're a defender and you're chasing down Iwolo, you're chasing down Miller, Deleuze, all these players, and then Christo comes stomping into the game.
Yeah, just hasn't quite, we've not seen much of him in this 10-minute cameo appearance so far.
Turnover, this is trouble. Kept alive, back across. Oh. And Smith's extra effort gets to it. Flying now is Camden Feo, back across again. Brotherton finds Chester, and Chester, that's what you got to do with it here in 83rd minute. Just get it out of trouble and see if you can't regroup, reset that back line.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a key period in the game for St. Louis now. They finally got North Carolina pinned back in. You saw Anthony Pulis on that throw in a minute ago, just wait, get set, get everyone in position so we can really start and try and build something here. He sees this as a crucial opportunity for them.
St. Louis FC, they got to throw it all here, folks. They have to get a win. And because of who Birmingham plays, they very much have a legit chance because Pittsburgh is going to want to hang on, right? So 84th minute.
It's very patient, though, really patient from St. Louis. They obviously really believe that they're going to get one, whether it's now or in the 91st minute.
Miller. Back to Taylor. Umar pushes it now to Cicerone. And once again, they find the feet of the talented Lewis Hilton. 84th minute.
Good pressing from Austin Deleuze there, recognizing that Hilton was looking for that big ping and getting out there to stop him from driving one in over the top of the back line.
Oh, this one. Cashier, I thought indeed. I thought he was just going to go ahead and crank it. He waited for it to bounce, and it wasn't a great bounce. So now St. Louis FC, Tambakis has a beat on it. It's loose. Tambakis, the whistle is up, though. The offside flag, that'll get a chance for me to remind you that you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship in League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
A lot of space opening up now for St. Louis. They attack down the right flank. Some tired legs out there, I think, Dean. To be honest, it's been a grueling game. Certainly one for the not one for the faint-hearted, that's for sure.
86th minute. Expect the loudest round of applause as Nazmi Abadawi is going to come on, I believe, for Austin Deleuze. Stephen Miller's got Cristo on one side.
Could Deleuze get in the box?
Cristo back across Miller and deflected. Miller just mishit it there with his left. He still almost got lucky for it to go in.
Wow.
And the great thing about being here with Andrew Tate, he's on the Miller time train, which I like. You brought that out against Red Bulls.
Yeah.
That was definitely Miller time there.
It certainly was. Well, he missed the cue, right, Dean? We were ready for it. He missed the cue. You can see it there. Just St. Louis again. You've seen these games a million times over. You know, where one team's having all the chances and the breaks, it just doesn't quite go for them. And so is there a goal for St. Louis? But here's the change.
Austin Deleuze is going to give the captain's armband to Stephen Miller. And now Austin Deleuze is going to rightfully soak it in, right, in a big way. And you see the Austin Deleuze family. I got chills.
Yeah, me too. It's a cold night, but that's not the weather there, Dean. That's not the weather. You can see he wears his heart on his sleeve. It means a lot to him, just to be a player for North Carolina FC. And he made that choice. He could have stayed in Orlando down there, you know, back in 2012, and he wanted to come back home and be a big part of something, and he certainly achieved that and more.
Austin Deleuze. Andrew, I've been lucky to do this a long time, 25 years broadcasting games, and it's kind of like your kids. You're not allowed to say you got a favorite, but he's the kind of guy that I literally call every week just to see how he's doing.
And you know he'll give you the time. That's the thing. He's a very humble person. There's no airs or graces about him. He'll talk to anyone. He'll make the time for it. I think, speaking to Tony Deleuze, I think that's what he's most proud about, is the type of man that he is. Not his, you know, NCAA championship win or anything like that. It's more the young man that he's become and grown into.
'88th minute. St. Louis's season is on the line. As much as we want to talk about Austin Deleuze, they really don't care. They need to get a goal right here. And they may get it. It's loose. Pinged away there. I thought if they're going to get it, it was going to happen right there.
Yeah, you can see it. Anthony Pulis, I think he's taking years off his life right now with just the strain of the pressure right now, just needing a goal. And sometimes when you want it the most is when it doesn't happen. So just got to find that bit of quality, that bit of composure. Just one break. They've had many so far to stop the ball going in the goal. It's whether they can get one to go in the other end.
Post-game, I'll have the great honor of being on the field with the Deleuze family. Chester is clipped from behind, and now we will get a card, and the fans kind of with a little bit of humor, as you would say, saluting the call.
Yeah, too little too late, I think, to get back in the good books. Well, it's a good opportunity here for NCFC. Good angle. Ask the question of the keeper, are they going to shoot? Are they going to clip it to the back post for Brotherton? We'll see what happens. I know Dre Fortune's knocked one in from this range before.
Fortune. Dre Fortune over the ball. Fortune Right foot, Cristo! And how about North Carolina FC? On Austin Duluth's night, he'll run down Cristo with the goal. It's 1-0 North Carolina FC.
Yeah, what a moment. That's Dre Fortune, great ball in. Cristo rises like a salmon and does really well to guide it down. And that's the dagger, I think, in St. Louis's season. 4 minutes of stoppage time, and it's a big 4 minutes of St. Louis. I'm just not sure they have the confidence and the belief that they can get back in this.
Robbie Cristo now tying Stephen Miller with a team-high 9 goals. It's almost like he was ready to correct me. Remember, we said he was leading, then we forgot about Miller. Now he's tied with Miller.
He wants to get there. He's like, I'll make you right sooner. But he's the man for the moment, isn't he? I mean, the question for Dave Sarachan on Wednesday and whoever they come up against is they're not going to know who's starting for North Carolina. You know, who's it going to be?
Well, I think with Cristo, you got to keep using them the way they're using them because it's working. So you wear him down and then you bring him in and he can put it away. Now let's see if he adds another one. Abadawi, side of his foot. Gomez way out, and he's got to knock it out of bounds. Robbie Cristo, that's like his job, right? It's like a relief pitcher coming on, right, to strike out the last 2 batters. And it's Cristo to come on to finish in the last 30.
And he's doing it. I mean, that's sometimes the problem, right? You get yourself into that role when really he wants to play every minute. But I think either way for him, it's working and it's helping his team get points and results. And right now, that's what it's all about. We're the business end of the season.
And Andrew, just so you're with me, baseball, that's the Yankees and Astros and those guys.
Wait, it's not cricket? Is it? Cricket? No.
Chester is over it. Chester, Abadawi.
Tell you what, that goal was greeted with great applause here. Obviously, they felt like they'd been wronged in this game, and that goal, the relief, the emotion, the fact that it's Austin loses the big night. But I bet you in Birmingham right now, Birmingham, Alabama, that's a huge goal there for them as well. It makes their game tomorrow a bit more of a celebration and make it interesting for Pittsburgh now because there's nothing on the line for Birmingham.
Alex Camcia snaps it off his head. Tackle coming in there from Taylor. We're in extra time. WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, Cary, North Carolina. Wonderful crowd here. Final regular season game. Want to see a wonderful crowd on Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. It'll be a playoff game as what happens is 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. So still trying to figure out exactly whether 7 or 8 will be the seed for North Carolina FC, but obviously this win won't hurt, so in fact it could be that 7 seed as Tambakis bombs it long, so 7 seed perhaps against 10 seed could be Birmingham. And we've got 1 more minute.
Yeah, and I'm really pleased for the fans that stayed. Sometimes fans, it's 0-0. It's been one of the, not a fantastically brilliant game. You know, it hasn't been full of goals, but the fans that have stayed have been rewarded with a fantastic moment and a big moment for Austin Duluth.
Right side. Good run here. St. Louis FC continues to fight. They earn a free kick right outside the 18. Brotherton didn't like the call, and is there going to be another card coming here? I don't think so. It's just going to be a mark.
It's good dribbling there. Brotherton fighting, scrapping. He has got hold of his shirt there. It's a good battle between the two of them. He gets the ball in the end, but I'm guessing the referee saw some of that shirt grabbing and was probably right to call that. But when you're calling that one, you've got to call some of the ones you've missed earlier, Mr. Referee.
This will probably be the last play of the game.
Everybody in the box.
Yep.
It's a little lonely in this half.
Gomez right in front of Tambakis.
Yamakani Chester, I don't think anyone's catching him if it breaks for him.
Gomez needs to make sure he stays onside. This one sent in, loose, still loose. Cleared out of there, and the fans love it. Chester.
Oh.
Chester's there in the final whistle. How do you blow that as Chester with Gomez? But it doesn't matter. North Carolina FC gets the win. 1-0 over St. Louis FC. Robbie Crystal, 9th goal of the season.
Yeah, great night for North Carolina FC. Sadly for St. Louis FC, it's the end of their season, but Austin Deleuze, the man of the moment, great night, and you could see the emotion on him when Robbie Christo leapt so high and guided it down in the goal off that Dre Fortune set piece. Fantastic night, and it was a thoroughly deserved 3 points for North Carolina.
We bow down to you, Austin Deleuze, who you just saw. Of course, Crystal with the goal, a brilliant career. The final score, North Carolina FC 1, St. Louis FC 0. For Kyle Lang and his great crew, I want to thank Andrew Tate for joining me in the booth. He'll be back with me on Wednesday. I'm Dean Linke. And you know what? How about North Carolina FC? How about Austin Deleuze? A 1-0 win for North Carolina FC, and it means they'll play here Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in the playoffs. Need you loud and proud. And don't forget the North Carolina Courage tomorrow afternoon, 1:30, taking on Reign FC, the North Carolina Courage in the NWSL. Once again, Robbie Crystal with the goal, Austin Deleuze and his dad celebrating a 1-0 win for North Carolina FC over St. Louis FC.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
My son had been injured and he was prescribed pain opiates. No one ever told us how highly addictive these drugs were. My initial reaction was shock. My son didn't get so deep into the dark, scary woods overnight, and it's no straight line coming back. For parents out there who don't have hope, I realize there's a lot of families that are torn apart, but families can heal. Young people can get better.
There's hope and help at drugfree.org.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Protect our kids. Protect our communities. Protect our waters. Unused medication poses a deadly risk to our loved ones, and flushing it could impact our environment. There's a way to get rid of leftover medication. It's safe and it's easy. Just toss it in a permanent drop box near you. Operation Medicine Drop. What's in your medicine cabinet?
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
At this time, we ask you to direct your attention to the field. We're being joined right now by our very own Dean Linke for a special presentation.
Thank you so much, Mark Calloway. You do a wonderful job up there, and our fans do an amazing job. The loudest applause we can for our incredible fans. Thanks for all you do for the club. We also want to thank all the former North Carolina FC players, even back to the Carolina Railhawks days, that came out for good reason to honor the face of the franchise, one of the greatest human beings in the game of soccer, Austin Deluse. You have heard me over and over talk about Benjamin Button, Ponce de Leon, the ageless wonder. I say he can play 20 more years, but he's decided to hang him up. Austin Deluse, a true talent. One more time. Couple nuggets, Wake Forest, all-time assist leader. That record will never be broken. He won a national championship right here. He scored goals with his left foot, as his dad will tell us, with his right foot, also with his head, and he's done even more off the field. Our community leader every single year does more appearances than any player on the team. He is remarkable. One more time, Austin Deluse. Great season in Austin Deluse last season, and part of the reason we're having a great season is we've got one of the best coaches without question in the league. That's Dave Sarakin. So I'd like Dave Sarakin to come forward and say a few words about Austin Deluse and the time you spent with him. Dave, congrats on your win tonight too.
Thank you very much. Austin, I'm so happy my first year here in North Carolina that I was able to work with you. Obviously, I didn't like you for a while when you beat us when I was with the Galaxy. But I followed you for many years, and I was thrilled that you stuck around this year, my first year here. We spent a lot of time in the early mornings talking. You're a true man's man. You're a Renaissance man. You're a great leader, great captain. I've been around a lot of great captains. You're up there with them all. So enjoy your family. Enjoy this night. We're not done yet, by the way. We still got games to go. But enjoy the night. Thank you for all your efforts. Let's hear it for Dave Sarakin and a great performance tonight from Dave and his entire team. How about North Carolina FC? And how about the fine president, general manager for this club? He's been here for the long haul. He's done it all for both these teams, North Carolina FC, and of course tomorrow, the North Carolina Courage. I'm talking about former Castle, now NCFC youth player, talking about locally in high school, played for NC State, took him to the semifinals, and of course the president GM of the club, Kurt Johnson, with some words on Austin Deluse.
Austin, we all think about the silky left foot. We think about the wins. We think of the leadership. We think of how you define logic in terms of how many goals you scored with your head, all those things. But what I will remember more 5 years, 10 years, 15 years is what you put into the club, how you helped us build a young club, how you helped us match actions with our words, right? Around being welcoming, the Playing for Pride initiatives that you had, the countless appearances, the mentoring of young people in the soccer schools, coaching, how you welcomed the courage into our club and into our families, and create an environment where boys and girls, young, old, can pursue their dreams. You've been a leader in that, and I thank you very much.
Kurt Johnson, President General Manager for our fine club. I've had the best seat in the house for 13 years to call a lot of incredible Austin Deluse moments. Let's sit back. Let's enjoy the great Austin Deluse.
20-some years, such a little kid coming in practices at Wake, to now the young man that you are. Just want to congratulate you on a tremendous career.
Austin, congratulations on an amazing career. I think we all knew from seeing you, meeting you as a 12-year-old boy, the things you were going to go on and do were going to be incredibly special.
DeLuzer, I just want to congratulate you on retirement, man, and what a great career you've had.
DeLuzer, I always benefited from being your teammate. You always made me look better. You always made the guys around you look better. And you've grown over a long, long time into the kind of person that makes the people around him better. I know I've benefited from that.
And it's Austin DeLuze who scored it.
Austin DeLuze, I still can't believe you're retiring. I still don't want you to retire.
Hey Austin, I just want to congratulate you on an amazing career. You have so much to be proud of. Remember, it's not over because you've always got you involved.
DeLuze Steinberger rolls off of it. DeLuze! And how about North Carolina FC?
DeLuze, congrats on a truly incredible career. Not too many people can say they've played for 10 years.
DeLuze following the play up. Austin DeLuze trying to put it off frame and he tucks it in.
Best of luck moving forward, the next stage of your career, and all the best.
So cheers, buddy. Looking forward to seeing you around on a few more Saturdays and a few more weekends now that you're hanging them up.
Good luck with everything. Congrats on an amazing career, and let's go out with a bang.
Look forward to seeing you soon. Congrats again. See ya.
Going to have another opportunity. Heidemann comes forward. Good ball back in. There it is. Foul! Foul! North Carolina FC! Austin Great thing about retiring is you get a lot of cool things, you get a lot of gifts, because people like being around you, they want to thank you. So we got a lot of gifts to give out, and as you know, we've got this great relationship between the North Carolina Courage and North Carolina FC. Let me tell you, every player, like all of us on the North Carolina Courage, they love Austin DeLuze. They love what he stands for. They love what he's done off the field. So for a presentation of the North Carolina Courage jersey, let's bring back Kurt Johnson for the first gift of several. A signed jersey with DeLuze from the North Carolina Courage. Like I said earlier, you're not allowed to have favorites, but I think if you asked every member of the Oak City supporters who their favorite player is, you got to believe Austin DeLuze is right there at the top of the list. Ryan Jernigan did an amazing job over the years with Oak City supporters. No surprise, he's got a special gift for the great Austin DeLuze. Let's hear it for the Oak City supporters and Ryan Jernigan. Let's hear it for the Oak City supporters and their incredible support. Ryan and the gang, you guys are awesome. Speaking of awesome, we wouldn't be here, none of us, without the incredible support, leadership, stewardship of Steve Malik. He promised champions, the North Carolina Courage have delivered it. We got a playoff game on Wednesday. We might deliver one there too. Let's hear it for the owner of North Carolina FC and the North Carolina Courage, Steve Malik.
So, Austin, we're all expecting super things from you. This is just the foundation that you laid, showing the hard work, dedication, leadership, ability to step out there and take risks, do what it takes to win. So with that, we got one last gift, I think.
All right, Steve and Kurt with our final presentation. Sorry, Austin. Let's hear it for Austin DeLuze. takes this final picture, we're going to be able to spend some time with Austin Deluse. We mentioned all the great teammates that he had, and we want to recognize a lot of them that are here because I know he appreciates it. The Irish Ninja, Akira Fitzgerald is here. Zach Shalowski is here. Brian Schreiber is here. Justin Willis is here. Michael Harrington is here. Brian Ackley is here. Michael Milazzo is here. Dewan Bader is here. And the human highlight reel, T. Cipollone, is here. And you know what? They say great things happen to great people, and usually there's some sort of connection to a great family. The Deluse family, world class. Tony Deluse, great coach at Wake Forest forever. His wife, their mom and dad, Tony's mom and dad, his grandma and grandpa. Joanne's here, the entire Deluse family. Let's hear it for them. And who can forget the real manager of the entire show, the beautiful wife of Austin Deluse, Katie, is here. Top shelf, good assist. And here we are with Ponce de Leon, my Benjamin Button, and I'm going to say, sorry guys, my favorite, I love this guy, especially on your night, Austin Deluse, soaking it all in, everything you've done. Tell everybody what it means.
If I talk for any length of time, I'm just going to start sobbing. So it means a lot, obviously. Just so grateful for every single person in this stadium.
Well, that's it, 3 families, right? You've got the fans as your family, you have your team as your family, and then you have the most amazing family as your family. Who does not love Austin Deluse? We can drop the mic on that. We all love you folks for being here. We certainly appreciate it. Remember, you can see Austin and the team play Wednesday night, 7 o'clock in the playoffs. Let's make a run. Let's win this thing. Let's win it for Austin. Let's win it for you. Have a great night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more time for your captain, number 6, Austin Deluse. Thank you, Dean Leakey. Reminder, the FC returning to Salem Stadium on Wednesday to play in the USL Championship playoffs. Tickets to that match are on sale now. It can be purchased here at the stadium at NorthCarolinaFC.com or by calling the Coastal Credit Union box office at 919-459-8144. And tomorrow, Sunday, the Courage returning to Salem Stadium to take on Reign FC at 1:30 p.m. in the NWSL semifinal. Tickets to that match also on sale now. Can be purchased online at nccourage.com or you call the Coastal Credit Union box office at 919-459-8144. One more time for Austin Deluse. Have a safe trip home.